rests on faith. Everybody thinks of science as the be-all and end-all, and that you're going to like, science rests on the basic assumption, the faith assumption, that the universe is intelligible, right? That science is not the be-all and end-all. It cannot answer all the questions. It cannot address questions related to God or anything like that. There's no experiment we can do. Science is a method. It's a way of learning. It's a very powerful method, right? I like it, right? But science itself rests on belief, right? Science itself rests on things unseen. So I have no problem with sort of, faith is science. I don't really understand. That's a creation of people who are not truly engaging with the life of the mind. It's a creation. The fact that there's a conflict between science and faith. There's no necessary conflict. That's a creation, right? And one way I like to think about it, one thing that I'm really interested in sort of exploring more intellectually, is the idea of your life is a process. It's very clear in my story. It's very clear in your story. If you told your story's not turning out the way that you think it was going to turn out or whatever. Your life is a process, right? It's ongoing. It has a beginning and it has some sort of destination that you're not quite sure of, right? You're heading in some direction, right? To me, sort of science tells me that same story. When I talk about evolution in class, evolution has a beginning, right? Things are changing over time. And they're changing over time, often in random ways, right? Much like your own life sort of changes over time. Right? So you as an individual have this sort of evolutionary process. And the life on Earth has this evolutionary process. And in fact, the universe as a whole we know has a beginning. And it's changing over time. The universe is not static by any stretch of the imagination. Everything that physics tells us and cosmology tells us that the universe is expanding and growing and changing. And so all of these things, from our very individual selves to the biological world, to the Earth itself, the geological world, to the universe, are all in this sort of process of change.